Former I Prevail vocalist Brian Burkheiser has finally broken his silence. AI music might be taking over and we don't even realize it. And Asking Alexandria is being called out by their former vocalists. All that and more on this week's episode of
The Jesse Lee Show. Oh, oh. The Jesse Lee Show. Oh, oh. The Jesse Lee Show. Oh, oh. The Jesse Lee Show. Jesse Lee Show.
Hey, it's me, Jesse Lee, aka Music News Daddy. How's it going? Thank you for coming to the podcast. If you're new around here, if you've never hit play on that stream button before, if you're new around here, please be sure to bang your head on that follow button, subscribe button if you're on YouTube, listening and watching there. Leave that 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you can rate me at. Leave me a rating. If there's a hot or not category, you go ahead and choose that too. I really hope you lean towards the warmer side of it, but that's all up to personal preference, obviously. First show back. First official show since I returned from France. I was over there covering Hellfest, and man, that was a blast. I feel like I came back knowing less French than I left with. I mean, that was confusing over there. It was very overwhelming, but I had a great time. I did try to record last week's episode of the podcast at the airport because I had a little bit of downtime before my flight. So I figured I set up. I actually got the tripod out, and I had my microphone set up, and I found like a little quiet spot in the airport, kind of away from everyone. And I was ready to go. I have a few notes. It's gonna be a short episode, but I was ready to record it. But like TSA agents kept walking by and like just giving me weird looks, and airport security and stuff. I don't know. I was also in Amsterdam, so it's like I really didn't want to get detained there over this. I mean, I wanted to get the episode out for you, but I didn't want to miss my flight over it. So I decided to quietly pack everything up, put it away. But I did, of course, drop that episode with Filter. With their frontman Richard Patrick last week. That episode is up now if you haven't checked it out. Great conversation. Talked about how their big song, one of their big songs, Hey Man, Nice Shot, turned 30 years old. The day we were doing the interview, the day I was interviewing Richard, their song, Hey Man, Nice Shot, turned 30 years old. So we talked a lot about that song, about the backstory, how a lot of people think it's a song that was written about Kurt Cobain and how he unfortunately passed, but that was not the case. And I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't had a chance to listen to it or watch it. But yeah, go check that episode up. It's on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, all those spots. But our main story we need to get into right now. Sorry, I got a little text message here from the wifey. Had to check that. Obviously, can't ignore the wifey messages, all right? Our first main story here. Former I Prevail vocalist Brian Burkheiser has finally spoken out for the first time since parting ways with the band, and he also announced a new project. So I Prevail parted ways with Brian in May. There was no specific reason given. Although Brian has been very vocal in the past of a rare condition he's battling. He's missed tours over it. He's missed festivals and shows over it. But he has Eagle syndrome he suffers from, which sounds super badass, Eagle syndrome. But it's really not. It's a really debilitating disease, syndrome, I guess condition. I don't know if you would call it a disease, but it's a rare condition that causes nerve pain in the jaw, throat, face, neck. Brian even had to have surgery for it. That's why he missed, I believe, at least one tour, if not two. And it also causes people to feel depressed. Brian has spoken on in the past about how like the whole diagnosis really just took its toll on him, and it really broke him at times. And he says that people that he's talked to about it say that they often feel not great thoughts and feel like they want to end it all. They feel like they're a burden to people around them. So it's on top of just like the physical pain that comes along with this, it's got a lot of mental stress involved in it as well. So, I mean, knowing that information of what he was dealing with that, I Prevail made that post originally announcing Brian was leaving and said, "Today we share that we are mutually parting ways with Brian Burkheiser. This was a difficult decision, but we believe the right one, and we are all grateful for the 10-year epic years we shared together. We wish Brian nothing but success and happiness in his future endeavors. Moving forward, Eric will continue to be the powerhouse frontman you've come to know and love. He'll be backed up by Dylan, who you've seen in the role many times over the years at shows we've performed without Brian. Rest assured, we will continue to deliver the high energy shows that we've made. Rest assured, we will continue to deliver the high energy shows that we've made a pillar of our band, and we will continue to perform all the bangers from our catalog. All scheduled shows will go on exactly as planned. New music coming soon. And new music did come soon. Came super soon. They released their new song, Violent Nature, shortly after that, which was just a straight up all gas, no brakes. Just a straight up chest beater, screaming all the way throughout. And, fans were like a little worried, like, oh, is this all we're getting from I Prevail now? Are we done with the singing? Because we know that Eric can sing. We know that Dylan, the guitarist, who has been filling for Brian, we know that he can sing. But are we just getting like this heavy ass sound, just screaming all the way through? And some fans were stoked about it. A lot of fans were like, this is what I want. I want I Prevail just kicking me in the teeth nonstop. Just, again, all gas, no brakes. I personally, as I said it before, I prefer some clean singing. I like some catchy choruses. I'm a little bit of a wuss in that way, if you will. I'm a little poser, metalcore poser. I like clean singing in my heavy music. But they did not disappoint me, at least, because they came out with a second single called Into Hell with Eric singing on it. And it's still got the heavy moments, but it's got the super catchy chorus. And it is Eric singing on the track. A lot of people were questioning whether it was Dylan singing or who was doing the clean vocals, but Eric actually posted a video on the I Prevail Instagram page of him singing the song live in the studio. So it is him singing on the song. And again, I'm glad that they're incorporating both of those into their music. Eric even said in an interview, he said they purposely did Violent Nature first to kind of throw fans a little bit of a curveball and have them questioning, like, what's going on here? Like, with Brian gone, are they going straight heavy? And Eric has said that before, they always try to like switch things up. They try to either come out with a song, their first single from the album be something that's like just super, super heavy and something that you're not expecting, or they might try to release the one that they think is like the banger, the one that's going to be like something they feel super strong about. Which sometimes that can be the same. Those two things can be, not mutually exclusive. They can be the same song. So the two songs are out, but we still had not heard from Brian yet. We hadn't heard from Brian's side of the story. I Prevail releases that statement, says they mutually part ways, but Brian doesn't, speak out at all about it. And I thought about reaching out to Brian during this point and like checking in on him and seeing like, get his side of the story maybe. But I also didn't want to feel like I was trying to create drama where there wasn't any, because from I Prevail's statement, it sounded super amicable. It sounded super, again, mutual parting of ways. It didn't seem like there was any kind of beef or anything there. And I didn't want to reach out to Brian because I don't really know him personally. I didn't want to reach out to him and like him feel like, oh, Jesse Lee's just trying to get a scoop here, trying to stir the pot or anything like that. So I didn't reach out, and I do regret it. I wish I would have. I wish I would have hit him up and at least just checked on him, make sure he's okay. Because even aside from him battling this eagle syndrome and any mental depression, anything that comes along with that. Aside from all that, splitting ways for the band that you've been a part of, that you helped create and build for the last decade, that's a huge, huge burden mentally, I'm sure. So again, I wish I would have reached out. I wish I would have hit him up because I don't like to. I don't know. I don't think he was expecting me to either, really. But I just feel like as somebody who's covering these topics, these music news topics, I have to constantly remind myself that these are human beings. Like these are people. They're entertainers. They're artists that we listen to, admire, look up to. And when they do something, especially for me, when I have to report about it as news, it becomes kind of like I separate myself a little bit from it because I'm like delivering the news on it. But I also have to keep reminding myself, these are people. These are real ass people that have things going on in their lives. And, I can't disregard that. So, I just feel like I wish I would have reached out to him, but he did finally break his silence now. So at least we know what's going on now. And he posted, I want to say like 50 stories in a 48-hour period. Like he just posted a lot of stuff. He was posting all kinds of stories of the past from I Prevail, different encounters he's had with certain musicians, and all positive stuff, all optimistic things, nothing like depressing or sad, just like talking, just really just for the first time, speaking up, just saying what's going on in his life and how he's and reflecting. It felt very reflective. But like I said, there were like 50 stories. There was a lot to go through. A lot of it was just like some of it was just like some video, some of it was just some photos with a little blur behind it. But then he did start getting into the I Prevail stuff. So it started off with, I will change the music industry forever. There are no rules to this shit. You can be whatever you want to be, but if you don't live your truth, don't go blaming anyone else. Someone taught me that this week, and I have run with that mindset ever since. I had to do this for my family. I couldn't take this anymore. I am meant to be here. I'm just going to keep posting music till I go to bed. But tomorrow, everyone's going to wake the fuck up and treat each other kindly. Every single member of I Prevail is a good person. That's where he first starts talking about I Prevail. He said, goes on to say, we were all kids. None of us knew what we were doing. It all happened so fast. There is no beef. I love every single one of those guys, whether they know it or not. But yeah, shit did get tough along the way. And I do think that I didn't deserve how things went down, but it doesn't mean they are bad people. We're all just going through shit. Everyone is trying to feed the family. The only thing I will say is that I did try to communicate more, and I wish that they would have talked to me more. But it took coming down to this to teach the world this lesson that I'm okay with that because I want to rekindle my friendships with those guys one day. Then it says, whether you know it or not, I am proud of you, Eric. You went through a lot of things the world doesn't know about. I want to see you. I miss you. And then it says, he goes on to say, no one show up to I Prevail shows to talk shit. Everyone give them a good, time on tour. He says, I love every single member of I Prevail. Those guys work their asses off. He said, then he goes on to say, I'll be honest, I had a falling out with the dudes. A lot of things happened over 10 years, and I'm sure they have different perspectives on certain things. But this shit happens in life. Divorces happen, but divorces normally happen due to lack of communication. I think we both could have improved on that over the course of time as we got bigger and bigger. I just want all of us to go out and live our lives. I want all the families to be happy. I love all their significant others and children. Let's just do this shit, guys. Let's change the industry and show everybody we can get past it. Maybe it took our band to show the world relationships are fucking hard and the music industry is even harder. So it's a lot. I mean, I don't want to keep reading through the entire story because it's kind of like a novel of stuff he wrote, but he was airing it all out there. He was getting all his feelings out there. And, the statements make it sound like he's being very mature about it. He's clearly hurt in certain ways about how some things unfolded, but he wishes nothing but the best for I Prevail, the rest of the guys. He says he loves all the band members and there's no beef there. Fans were kind of worried when they were reading this stuff because, again, it was like 50 stories, 50 posts, maybe even more in like a couple day period. People were worried like this feels like sort of manic. It feels sort of like maybe is he going through something and he's just like he's getting it off his chest. Like why is he like being all of a sudden just pouring out? Like why is this all pouring out of him? But fans were worried, but Brian said like all this, like getting it out of him made him feel better. He said this was a kind of cathartic. It made him feel inspired. And so I know a lot of people, like I said, I know a lot of fans were worried that maybe, he's having maybe a mental break. It was something people were saying, but he says that this was something he needed to do. He needed to get this off his chest. He needed to just talk and get it out there and, put his side of the story out there. And if that's what, is happening, if that's what's, making him feel better and getting this all out there, then that's awesome. Like, I'm so glad to hear that, he feels finally comfortable enough to talk about this stuff and get his side of the story out there, which, again, not that there's a side of a story that's like a drama or a beef or anything, that just like he can finally feels comfortable talking about what happened. And all of this, through all of this, he announced this new project that he's working on with Tyler Smith called Scatterbrain, which just feels like a missed opportunity to call it Scatterbrian, right? But Scatterbrain, either way. No matter what, I'm excited about it nonetheless, and I can't wait to hear the new tunes from Brian, and I just hope he continues, doing well and keeps moving forward. Something I'm not excited about is AI music is taking over, and we're all cooked like robot food. It's not good. A brand new band called the Velvet Sundown looks to be just completely AI generated. This band has over 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, which is partly due to everyone talking about it, unfortunately. I mean, because all the news outlets, myself included, have been talking about this new band, that's increasing the interest of people wanting to go check it out, which is just adding to the monthly listeners. Like, when I first reported about this story, they were only like 300,000 monthly listeners, and now they're up over 500,000. So obviously the news cycle is not helping things, but this band, last month they released two albums in 1 month, right out of the gate. I mean, fair, maybe they've been working on these albums for years and years, but I mean, they dropped 2 albums last month with a third one scheduled for this month. That's a little fishy right off the bat. That's a lot of music just to dump on social or onto streaming platforms. As one Reddit user pointed out, there's not a shred of evidence on the internet that this band has ever existed. Like, you can't find out there's no social media linked to this band. There's social media profiles now linked to Velvet Sundown that I think were created by people who just like heard the story and just decided to capitalize on it and make social media profiles. But at the time, there was no social media. All the band photos, we'll post them here on the screen here for you to see. I mean, look at that photo. It's got that piss yellow AI tint to it. You can't see the hands. That's, the fact that you can't see the hands in the photo, that's very telling, because that's usually a dead giveaway for AIs if you can't see, because like the hands are, for whatever reason, as smart as the robots are, I'm saying this, I love you robots. Please don't strike me down. You're great. They're robots. AI, you're very good at a lot of things, but making hands is not one of them for whatever reason. They can't nail hands. Don't know why. That's usually a good telltale sign that it's AI, but yeah, you can't really see the hands in the photo. You can see a little bit in the background of that one guy's hand, but yeah, the photos look AI. The bio sounds like it's written by ChatGPT. Let me bring it up here for you. And the funny part is, after this all came out, I feel like they went back and rewrote it a little bit because it's less ChatGPT sounding than it did before. There's something quietly spellbinding about the Velvet Sundown. You don't just listen to them, you drift into them. Their music doesn't shout for your attention. It seeps in slowly like a scent that suddenly takes you back somewhere you didn't expect. Their sound mixes textures of 70s psychedelic alt rock and folk rock, yet it blends effortlessly with modern alt pop and indie structures. Shimmering tremolos, warm tape reverbs, and the gentle swirl of organs give everything a sense of history without it ever feeling forced. What? Just nonsense. The band was formed by singer and mellotron player Gabe Farrow, guitarist Lenny West, Milo Raines, who crafts the band's textured synth sounds, and free-spirited percussionist Orion Rio Del Mar. Together, they quietly build the perfect sound to get lost in. The only problem is you can't find any of those dudes anywhere online. Any of those names I just said, they're not on any social media platform. As of the time of recording this, they don't exist as people on social media, which these could be fake names. These could be pseudonyms. It could all be, we're familiar with this process by now with like Sleep Token, using pseudonyms, pen names, whatever you want to call them, stage names. Lots of bands have done this before, even before Sleep Token. So that's not weird to, be anonymous, but the band just came out right out of the gate with all these listeners, all this monthly listeners, all these followers on, not even followers, just straight up listeners on Spotify, which makes it a little even more interesting because they have all these listeners, but without anyone actually following them and knowing who they are, like where are the listeners coming from. The album art looks like, AI slop, unfortunately. I mean, if this is a real band, I'm really sorry for shitting on it so much, but it just doesn't look good. The top track is called Dust on the Wind. Dust on the Wind. Similar to the Kansas hit. Another part of it, Deezer has labeled the tracks as possibly being created using artificial intelligence because Deezer will, tracks things like that and mark them accordingly. And the band's music is appear to be added to a lot of botted playlists. A lot of playlists that are being listened to by not real people, but more bots. There's robots making music, putting music on robot playlists, and then robots are listening to it, essentially. And I like the playlist Vietnam War music, which has like a lot of stuff from the Vietnam War era, Creedence Clearwater Revival. Man, that's weird to say that whole name. It's CCR, obviously. Rolling Stones, stuff like that. But then there's like 12 tracks from this band on there, just oddly enough. So, that's part of the reason too, is like if this playlist, Vietnam War music, is just one of the playlists they're on. But if it is a fake playlist and it's a botted playlist, it's generating fake streams, and then it's broadening the reach of the songs and that's how they're landing on other people's discovery playlists on Spotify and whatnot. So again, it's all possible that this is all real people making real music, and this is just all either a marketing stunt or an aesthetic choice. You know, it could be a real person making all this stuff, and he's made it look like it's AI as a choice just because he or she thinks it's a fun idea. But again, the fact that this band has just like blown up seemingly overnight on Spotify, and there is literally no way to trace it to any physical person. No one's taking credit for it. I don't know. It just doesn't look right. And so many bands are doing this. This isn't the only band that's, taking part of this AI stuff. Or I use this word band. I should be in quotations here. It's not even a band. There are so many AI generated artists and bands that are doing this, that are taking advantage of the system and being, put on playlists. And then again, the listeners aren't even real, but they're generating revenue through it. And it's like, you don't even realize that you're listening to AI music. If you just hear a brand new band on Spotify and it just pops up in your shuffle, like, you're not deep diving into like their catalog or their history. You just like hear a song, sounds good. And that's the thing too. The songs do sound good, because they're created by, scraping the data and the music from other real musicians. Like, yeah, of course it's going to sound good. They know what they're doing. The computers are good at making this. That's the people like, well, it sounds good. Like, yeah, no shit, sounds good. It's made from other really good songs. And people say like the response to my post about it, when I posted about this on Instagram and TikTok at Jesse Lee, the response was wild. The back and forth I got, because some people were like, who cares? Let people listen to what they want. Let people enjoy it. If they want to listen to AI music, let them listen to AI music. It's like, okay, I am all for people doing whatever they want all the time, as long as it doesn't hurt other people. And I argue that AI music does hurt other people. Definitely hurts their pocketbooks. I could be wrong here, because someone was telling me that there's a lot of disinformation about how AI music is created. And if I am wrong here, I will 100% admit it. I'm wrong all the time. I mess things up all the time. But as far as I've researched and looked into it, AI music is created by scraping like data and metadata or whatever from music that's already created out there by real musicians. They take that music and they turn it into the AI computer generated music, right? So you're stealing from real artists, not really creating something your own, and then profiting off it, and you're making money off of their hard work. And somebody commented on my post and said they're stealing about as much as you steal if you hear someone use a word and then you start using that word. And that's just an insane comparison to make. That doesn't really, I don't think, check out. And also, I'm not profiting off of speaking. I mean, technically, I guess I am sometimes with, on social media if I, monetize something. But again, I'm not like, it's not like if someone teaches me a word and I say that word, I automatically, get paid for it. I can't monetize that, right? So I don't know. I'm not against AI even. I'm not even against the whole idea of AI. I know it has a lot of applicable uses in other areas. I just don't think, making music with it is a good idea. I think it's very bad for the music industry. And the people that are supporting it and backing it up is crazy. Like, there's like the we call them bootlickers if they support cops or something like that. Like bootlicker. I feel like we need a name for this. If you support AI music, you're a hard drive sniffer or something, right? So, and then people are giving me shit for linking to the music in the post, because I shared the track in the post so that people would hear it. And I get that's counterproductive. We don't want to give more streams to the fake artists, but I mean, how can I say like, hey, do you think this band is AI, and then not play you any of their music? Like, how would that make any sense? Like, how do I tell the news story without actually playing the music? Ironically enough, though, I would play it right here, but it would probably get taken down for copyright on YouTube. So the AI robots would come for me. And the other thing, another thing here, while I'm getting all angry about this, is on that post itself that I made, a lot of people said that I was using AI to write it. They read my post that I wrote about the whole, Velvet Sundown, and they're like, this post was made by AI to push this band so that we would get more listeners on that. And like, listen, I've said it before. If my stuff was written by AI, it'd be a hell of a lot better. Okay. This is unfortunately all coming from this noodle right here. And I can't even really be too angry because I'm a little bit of a hypocrite. Like I like those Bigfoot videos, the AI Bigfoot videos where Gen Z Bigfoot's running around the woods like with a selfie stick. That's I can't swipe past it. It's funny. I watch it, but it's very clearly AI. I know it's AI, and that's the difference. People are listening to this Velvet Sundown band and other bands without actually knowing it's AI. And I think you should at least be able to consciously make that decision. So I just feel like all this AI music should have some kind of disclaimer on it. The way that Deezer puts their disclaimer that says it may have been, is tagged with being made possibly with artificial intelligence. I just feel like there's no way to fight AI and AI music. And man, I feel like I'm like some kind of like tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist right now. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's not, it would be like, it's similar to trying to fight the Napster and downloading music and all that, back in the day. It's happening. It's gonna happen. Like we can piss and moan about it, and I think rightfully so. It's not great, but it's gonna happen. Like AI music is not gonna be stopped. There's no way to stop artists and bands from, reaching high levels of success without actually being real. Fictional artists are going to be topping charts, and once they figure out how to do like a watchable hologram, they'll be playing concerts and stuff. It's only a matter of time. Like there's no way to really fight that. But I just feel like I would feel better if there's some kind of like, I don't know, disclaimer on this. Like, hey, just so you know, this is not real. This isn't made by a real person. But I guess that's on all of us, right? I mean, it's like, there's a way you have to kind of be on your toes not to get scammed by, phishing messages or, spam emails or DMs or whatever. Like just the way you got to be on the lookout for that. I guess you got to start being on the lookout for AI art, unfortunately. Another big story, Asking Alexandria's former vocalist is calling out the band. So a couple weeks ago, we talked about Asking Alexandria's Warped Tour set going viral for not a good way, not for good reasons. Vocalist Danny Worsnop was there dressed like he was about to head to a bank heist or maybe a Kanye West lookalike contest or something. And he's dressed this way before. He's been doing this at a lot of shows. Just this hooded figure look. I saw him do it, I think it was like Welcome to Rockville, in like 100-degree heat. Like that dude had to be dying. Unless it's a very flowy and light cloak that or ski coat that he's wearing. It looks like it's very warm though, so I don't know how he's not just getting heat stroke from being dressed like that. He had like ski gloves on too at one point. But fans are critiquing Danny's vocals and saying that all the screaming was backtracked. They said that he just didn't look like he wanted to be there. It's gotten to the point where the fans were calling for his removal from the band. Fans were saying that they want Danny Worsnop to step down from Asking Alexandria, like he's a politician or something. Like he's not holding office. Like you can't impeach a metalcore singer, can you? Unless it's a band president, then I guess that'll work. But other than that, I think the band president is the only one that we can call for removal that we can try to impeach here. Unfortunately, I think it's on the band and the singer's choice to leave the band. I don't think we can make the choice for them. But there was so much backlash that their bassist Sam Bentley actually issued an apology. And it was originally, he just wrote, "I'm sorry" on his Instagram page, on his Instagram story without any context. But then fans, started asking about it. And according to a screenshot that was shared on Reddit, he did respond saying like, yeah, I'm saying sorry about the Warped Tour set. It was that bad. So fans want their former vocalist, Denis Stoff, to come back to the band, which is funny because I remember when Danny came back, so many people were excited that they brought Danny back, and a lot of the Denis haters and the OG Asking Alexandria fans were so happy that Danny was back in the band. And now it's the reverse. And it's always that grass is greener mentality, So fans want Denis to come back to the band, who was with the band for their 2016 album, The Black. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. It looks like Denis still has some hard feelings with Asking Alexandria. He posted this big, long story on Instagram, said, "Hey, fan, I don't even know where to start here. I simply couldn't ignore the AA situation that's circling around the internet right now. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for the amount of love that you have all showed me in the comments, and I appreciate you all. Now, let's get into it. I've seen the videos. I laughed my tits off, and I loved it. Like hundreds of people mentioned in the comments, this is what they always sounded like live since the beginning of their career. I was rolling on the floor laughing years ago when Danny said that I was performing to his backing tracks, which was an awful and 100% fake statement. As you can see on their Warped Tour 2025 show, Danny is clearly having tons of backing tracks in their live set and is clearly incapable of giving a good performance to the people who paid money for their tickets and simply want to see a good show. Here's a few video performance comparisons to show the drastic difference in skill and effort shown on stage. And then he, shows up 2 videos. But unfortunately, I would never return to a band that has still never presented a single royalty statement for the Black Album and has failed to pay me out an estimated $5 million of my profit share as stipulated in the contracts I signed with them at the time. This includes revenue from song, authorship, sales, streams, deals, show tickets, performance guarantees, and worldwide merchandise sales. I have sent countless email requests regarding this situation to the band and their representatives, all of which have been ignored for nearly 9 years. To say the least, back in 2015, 2016, I was misled into believing that the business side was transparent and that I would receive all my royalties in full and on time. People never know what's happening behind the curtain. For almost a decade, I stayed silent and ignored all the witty comments that were meant to cover up my departure from AA back in 2016, sweep my money under the rug, and help the band move forward without any public drama. But now, considering everything that has happened over time, I simply can't help but share the truth with you. Thank you so much for your continued support. I love you all dearly. So, pretty funny stuff, taking some jabs there, Asking Alexandria and Danny in particular. I feel like the $5 million figure seems awfully high, though. Even with everything he mentioned, $5 million seems pretty... he must be tacking on some late fees to that, right? There's got to be some extra charges there. That's like when Blockbuster Video tried to charge me $200 for an unreturned VHS copy of the hit holiday classic Jingle All the Way. It's like that, it's been so long. It's been like, what do you say, 9 years. There's a lot of late fees being tacked to that. Has any metalcore band ever made $5 million total in their entire career? Seems like a lot. I'm being facetious, obviously. Of course, there's been successful bands. And of course, the Black Album was a huge album, and they were touring and doing, I think, arenas at that point. Pretty big shows, at least. So, maybe 5 million is correct. I'm not an accountant. I don't know, just a music news daddy. But yeah, if that's the case, they own 5 million is not chump change. So, but I don't think the band, with all this, I don't think the band is going to get rid of Danny. They posted a clip from their Warped Tour set of them performing the song "Things Could Be Different," but they posted the part of the song in particular where the lyrics are like, "It's never fucking good enough." Just another way to poke the scene bear, just poke that emo bear, rawr, get them all mad. Like, it doesn't seem like the band as a whole is taking it too seriously. And I think what's more likely will happen is Danny he'll be the one to be like, fuck it, I'm out. He has his country project that he does on the side as well. And if the case really is that he is not into this band as much as, everyone's saying he isn't, if what is happening that everyone's saying is true and that he really doesn't give a crap about this band and he is just doing it, for the payday, which I'm not saying that is the case, but if that is what's happening, then I think Danny will be the one to be like, you know what? I don't need this grief anymore. If you guys don't want me here, I'm out. Like, I'm done. I'll, go to make country. So we'll see how this all unfolds. We'll see if there's any more. The internet forgets pretty quickly. All Asking Alexandria has to do is put out one banger. All Asking Alexandria has to do is play some amazing set in a big festival or collab with another big artist or put out a banger or something. They just need another win, and then people will forget it. That's how the internet works, unfortunately. People, fortunately and unfortunately, people just forget and move on to the shit. So if Asking Alexandria, was kind of like a "what'd you do for me lately" situation, if they do something awesome, then everyone will move on. Let's get into some new releases this past week that we might have missed. Sorry, I'm trying to find my post with all the new songs of the week. I have my Jesse Lee's New Music Friday playlist if you want to check out all of the week's new music. But Papa Roach teamed up with H2O's Toby Morse for Brain Dead, their first new single for their new album cycle. Good Charlotte is back. they released the song Rejects, which kicks ass. I did find it funny, though, that Good Charlotte comes back and releases this song called Rejects. And the music video is like all claymation style. And All American Rejects just made their big comeback and released a new song. And the music video was for Easy Come, Easy Go, all claymation. So I don't know. I don't think there's any kind of like connection there whatsoever. But I just think it's fun that the connection of Rejects and claymation and pop punk bands returning to former glory. I don't know. That's all kind of cool. Lorna Shore released a new single called Unbreakable. Hollywood Undead released a new one called Savior. They're getting ready to go on tour with Falling in Reverse. A lot of people were saying this song sounds like a Falling in Reverse song. I don't really hear that too much, but I mean, it's a kick-ass song. I love Hollywood Undead, and I really like this new era of music they're doing. Bill Murray released a new one that I have to talk about because people were commenting and DMing me and messaging me and saying, like, if you don't talk about this song, I'm going to donkey punch you in your ball bag. And I value my ball bag much as anyone should. So I'm going to talk about it. It kicks ass. The new Bill Murray song, More Than Hate. My boys in Set It Off, they released a new song called Rotten. And they dropped a music video for it. And their frontman, Cody, is wearing this crazy cloak get up. And I actually talked to Cody at Sonic Temple a couple months ago. And we did this fit check video where he like walked me down his like wardrobe and what he's wearing. And he was actually wearing the fit that he wore in the music video. So I haven't posted that video yet. I still have to edit it and put it together, but that's gonna be coming up soon. Yeah, so if you when I post that, you'll get to see the video of him wearing it, and then you get to hear him explain it. If you're into that, if you're into fits and fashion at all, which I am. I love bands that know how to dress well. You know, that might make me sound super lame, but I don't know. I'm into that stuff. That's what I like. It's a little bit about me and the things that I like. Couple more quick stories. Linkin Park played their biggest non-festival headline show ever, selling out Wembley Stadium. And frontman Mike Shinoda celebrated with a homemade t-shirt he wore. It had a picture of an article on it written by Stereogum, the website, and said, Linkin Park continue to fumble their epic return. So he wore that shirt, a very nice review of the band, to their record-breaking stadium sellout show in Wembley. New Deftones music may be on the way. Before and after their show at Crystal Park Place in the UK on June 29th, a graphic was posted with the words private music and then the Roman numerals that I'll post right here so you can look at them. I'm no Roman numerologist, but this is likely a date. And the formatting is either the way it's set up. Since it is in the UK, it's probably July 10th these Roman numerals are supposed to say. It could be October 7th, but that's super far away. It could be an album release on October 7th, but that's not a Friday. That's, Fridays are global release days. So I'm guessing that the dates, these Roman numerals are representing July 10th, and likely we're getting a new single on July 10th. I'm speculating wildly here. There's been no confirmation, but I think we're getting a new song on July 10th from Deftones. Mark it down. Brett Hines made his first public comment since leaving Mastodon, and it is a doozy. On a recent Mastodon post about One More Time Around the Sun turning 10, a fan commented saying that Halloween is their favorite track and that they'll miss Hines being in the band. Well, Hines responded and said, I won't miss being in a shit band with horrible humans, which is not exactly the kind of exit interview that you're hoping for from a former employee, right? Not a great review. So I guess there's a little bit of bad blood there between Mastodon and Brent. I always say Brent. Wolfgang Van Halen revealed that Mammoth had to drop off the Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath farewell show. The band had to pull out because of their tour with Creed. And I bet a lot of people pull out because of Creed, right? I mean, hearing With Arms Wide Open when you're mid-coitus, that's just a very sobering reminder that you might not be ready to be a parent yet, right? You gotta stream down my face with arms. Yes, I turned a Creed song into a bukkake joke. You're welcome. Motley Crue's Vince Neil has been thirsting after AI models on X. One fake account asked if anyone wanted to see any nudes. And Vince Neil responded simply by saying, yeah. Just, yeah. To be fair, though, Vince probably had more to say, but, it's tough to type with one hand. So, yeah, Vince, your replies are on public, man. Don't respond to AI models. See, this is a problem. This all circles back. This all ties in. AI music is destroying the music industry, and AI models might be destroying the music industry as well, right? All it takes is a few of these AI models to lure in a few of our favorite rock stars and break up their happy marriages and whatever. Which I guess they're probably not happy if they're being lured by AI models. But you know what I'm saying? All it takes is a few swindlers on X to get into the band's bank account and drain them after they've drained themselves. All right. Anyway, let's get into some questions. Artist_J Haveri on Instagram said, who was the best performance you saw at Hellfest? That's got to go, my friends, to Electric Callboy. That was my first time seeing Electric Callboy, and they did not disappoint. It was so good. For full disclosure, or a little background guess, I love German Oktoberfest themed things. Like there's a yearly Oktoberfest that happens in Cleveland annually, every year, as I stated. I go to it every year. I dress up full lederhosen. I love Oktoberfest. I've never been actually to Germany for Oktoberfest, but that is on the bucket list for sure. And I say this because on Electric Callboy show, it's like, it's German techno metalcore, and it is just a party. And it just feels like the biggest like Oktoberfest party ever, but it's like with good music. Like, because that's my only beef with Oktoberfest is like I can only watch them dance on the Glockenspiel so many times. That music's fun for like 10 minutes, but I had the feeling for whatever reason I felt like I was at I was also drinking a German beer. I didn't even plan that either. They just happened to have German beer at the festival, and I just grabbed one. I'm not even a big beer drinker anymore. I prefer liquor. I prefer tequila when I'm drinking, but it was actually impossible to find tequila in France. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if it's just the area I was at, but I literally could not find any tequila anywhere I was in France. So I was drinking beer a lot of the time there, which made me feel very bloated and gross. But I digress. I was drinking a German beer watching Electric Callboy, and it was amazing. It was mind-blowing. I was also like about 9 beers deep, so maybe that's why it was so cool. But either way, I was really into it. Ryland Schwartz, RYELANSWARTZ, Ryland Schwartz, I guess. Ryland Schwartz. Probably spending too much time on that, right? All right. Ryland Schwartz on Instagram said, what did you think of the new I Prevail song, Into Hell? I loved it. Like I said earlier, but when we were talking about, the new sound of I Prevail, as much as I liked Violent Nature and I liked how heavy it was, all gas, no brakes, yeah, super cool. But I said from the beginning, when that song dropped, I like this, but I really hope this isn't it. I hope this isn't the only sound we're getting from I Prevail. I really hope we're still getting that clean singing and those melodies and those hooks. That's the kind of stuff that I like mixed in with my heavy metalcore and whatnot. So I'm super glad that Into Hell came out. I'm super glad that it, shows the band is going to be going multiple different directions on this next album and the future of the band. They're going to be exploring all the sounds and influences that have made us like I Prevail up into this point. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are like, fuck that. I don't like the heavy stuff. They sold out when they started being poppy, and I'm pretty sure they've always had hooks in their music from the very beginning. So yeah, I don't know. I like Into Hell a lot. I'm very stoked about it. It came out on one of the days I was at Hellfest, so it felt very fitting, felt very serendipitous. One more question here because we're running out of time. This is a long podcast. I was expecting this to be a short one, but I really went off on AI there for a minute. Jesse Pinkman 2133 said Metallica or Megadeth. I mean, no disrespect to Dave Mustaine and Megadeth, but Metallica, 100,000,000%. I mean, I do like Megadeth. I like Megadeth more now than I ever used to. As I've gotten older, I've gotten more and more into them. They have a lot of great songs, but Metallica, 100%. I mean, as far as like the amount of songs, like the sheer volume of hits And I don't say hits just because like I'm not saying that I like them more because they're more successful. I mean, the amount of songs that I love by Metallica far outweigh Megadeth. Again, not shitting on Megadeth. I enjoy Megadeth quite a lot. I would love to go see Megadeth play again. I haven't seen them since I saw Megadeth with Dream Theater in like 2007 or something like that. I think that was the last time. No. I saw Megadeth at what was it? I think I saw them at Incarceration Festival not too long ago. Yeah, that would have been the last time I saw him. But either way, I like Megadeth a lot. But yeah, Metallica is the one. Let me know, though. Let me know in the comments. This will be a good indicator if who is still listening to the podcast by this point. I mean, because we've been chatting for like almost, 45 minutes at this point? If you're still hanging on with me, if you're still here chit-chatting, listening to me rant about AI and metalcore and all that nonsense, if you're still here, that's impressive. So let me know in the comments on Spotify, because you can leave comments there, or in the comments on YouTube. Let me know Metallica or Megadeth. And if you write, even if you don't have an opinion either way, still write an answer, and that'll let me know that you're still listening. That'll prove that you're a real one. Really real listener of this show. And to pay you back, I will give you a nice warm high five next time I see you. All right. Well, that does it for me. Make sure to find me at Jesse Lee on TikTok and Instagram, at Jesse Lee Show on X if you, for whatever reason, want to follow me there. I don't post at all on there, but I technically am active on that. I have a profile if you want to find me there. Be sure to bang your head on that follow button on Spotify, that subscribe button on YouTube. Leave that 5-star rating on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever. Turn the comment section into a mosh pit. Just get this thing out there, man. Help me help you. I'm not sure how I'm going to help you, but we'll figure something out along the way. I'll figure something out. But above all else, no matter what you do today, please be sure to share this episode with somebody that doesn't suck. All right? Take it easy now, and bye-bye.
The Jesse Lee Show. The Jesse Lee Show. The Jesse Lee Show.